Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as Fuck.
Strength and blessings, everybody. Good evening, good nights. Across the nation. Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically. This is Black AF. I'm your host, Alexander Asafa. I got my squad with me today. Let's see, let's do the roll call. Brian is not here. Iron Man is sick. Someone took his battery pack. He's not feeling too well. We wish Brian Stark, we wish him well. He said he'll be back next week. He says Pepper Pot says hi. And we're gonna keep moving on. Next, we got my man. You're in Milwaukee, right? Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Big Pepper. What's going on, Big Pepper?
Yeah. How you doing?
Artist extraordinaire. This dude's a walking library. He's beastie on the fighting games, except for Virtua Fighter. Say something. I wish you would say something right now. But
I will. Your Jackie is trash, and I'll step all over him.
I'm your Huckleberry. I'm your Huckleberry. Special. Are you in Texas? Is that correct?
I am in Texas, yes.
Yeah, well, she's got the best shirt on, and officially shirt, because I have a hoodie on, so mine's is better. But she has the best shirt.
Okay.
Ron, give it up for social media influencer, cosplayer.
Hey.
Appreciate it. Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Glad to have you. Thank you for being a part of episode New Zero, because we've been here before, but it's our first time. This is the reboot. We're finally back. And one of the big reasons why we're back down in Atlanta, see, we're just all across the country, a little Milwaukee, a little Texas, a little LA, a little SEC, Atlanta coming through. Miss Jennifer Doss, executive director, and a lady I have known since we were kids, is the head of the nonprofit that we are featuring this month, tonight's show, and for the rest of Black History Month. Ms. Jennifer Doss from Project31. Up, everybody.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here and to jump into the conversation that you guys have going on. I hope to learn a little bit about the geek world tonight.
You're in the right place. Glad to be working with you. We have a winner for tonight that we will announce for the raffle, the very first shirt.
Yeah, forgot to put in for the raffle.
Just in case.
Move, you three.
Can we get D-Dragon? Mute your mic. We mute your mic. Appreciate it if you can mute your mic. Thank you. I know that's you. Yeah, so we're going to announce the winner later. But before we get to our topics, our bullet points, Ms. Jennifer, tell the audience a little bit about what Project31 is, how it came to be, what's right now. Talk to us.
Awesome. Yes. Well, like I said, like Skinder said, I call him Skinny. So I'm not sure if you still go by that, but you'll always be skinny to me. But we started Project31 it's been about 7 years ago. And the vision was to bring together and just to redefine womanhood. What does that look like? And, as I was thinking here today, I'm like, I'm not too much into the geek world, but I do realize that the intention behind our program is to make all of our girls realize that they are superheroes. And what I mean by that is basically we do everything from sewing, old school things, trades that were lost, teaching cooking skills, things that are lost in today's society with a lot of women and things that are missing like home ec from school, and we mix it with entrepreneurship, we mix it with your gifts and your talents, and we try to collaborate that and let people know that they can, let women and girls know that they can pretty much be anything. They don't have to choose one side or the other. And so that's the premise behind Project 31. It's a biblical based program. So it comes from Proverbs 31, which talks about the virtuous woman. And if you guys haven't read that passage, she was the original hustler, and she did it all. You know, she made her own clothes, she bought fields, she did some real estate, she was everything. And so that's what we try to really empower girls here in the community to do. Our programs run from middle school to high school girls. That's a primary age and target range group that we have. We have a lot of girls here in the suburbs, but we target African-American minorities in our community to teach them and to give them a safe space to kind of come and talk. A lot of times we have a lot of great programs in the inner cities, and some of the Black girls that are, go to all white schools, they miss out and they get lost. So our program is a safe space for them to be able to come talk about their Blackness, talk about not getting their hair wet at the pool party or what have you. And just a really good place to come together to create bonds, sistership, and learn some of the things that they have not learned before. We're all about exposure, all about getting them out there to experience new experiences and to learn new things and to grow in the talents and the gifts. And we really push them in their passion. So that's something we love to continue to do. This is new for me, like I said, so I'm interested to learn. Next week with us, we'll have one of our girls who is a little bit more into Marvel. So she'll be in here, and I know there's like a war between Marvel and DC or something like that. I've heard about that. So I'm not sure which side she'll be on in the group, but it'll be exciting to have her with us next week. So thank you again for having me. I'm honored to be a part of this inaugural event and see where it goes from here and continue to grow it from here. So I'm very proud of you guys and everybody who's come together to be involved. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's get into what we need to talk about. Thank you for that, Ms. Jennifer. Because I knew what Project 31 was about, and I felt like, people need a face. People want to know what the nitty gritty is, and we appreciate you breaking that down for us.
For sure. That's incredible.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into these topics. Let's get the heavy stuff out the way. For those that don't know, Dustin Diamond, actor from Saved by the Bell, passed today. Rest in power to that man.
For sure.
And now, from what I read, I don't know, I don't know if everything's true, but it was cancer, stage 4, from what I heard.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I heard too.
Yeah,
that's what
it was kind of crazy because they announced that he was sick not too long ago, and then I hop on the Shade Room today and he was gone. Man,
Yeah.
it's been a rough 2 years for sure when it comes to celebrity deaths.
More like a rough 14 months, but yes, you're right. Right.
I'm saying 2 years, 2020, 2021.
Right. Obviously I remember Saved by the Bell. I remember Screech. I love the show, even though I don't remember one Black guy being on the show ever. But it was still a great show. It was a great show from my childhood. It's just tough. It's been, like she said, Kai, it's been really tough. My favorite, well, I don't know if it's my favorite moment, but the moment that stands out for me in terms of Saved by the Bell is how he ended up with Lisa Turtle. Like that just, I couldn't deal with it. Like I was so mad because Lisa was that girl.
Did they ever end up together?
She went to the prom with him, didn't she? Like she ended up doing it. Like she didn't want to be the bill or something. Right?
I don't recall them ending up.
Well, okay, it depends on how you define a win. Like that's a win to me. If
Hey, he put in some some mad time for that one.
I
A
think
dub is a
Screech would
dub,
count it
no matter.
as a win. Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
count that in for him for sure.
Right. But all joking aside, respect to Dustin Diamond and his family. Rest in power.
Sure.
Thank you for your art. Thank you for being out there. Thank you for giving us joy and entertainment. We appreciate it. Black, white, or whatever. Now I think we should talk about some business. Because Big Pepper is winning right now from what he was saying in the sound check. GameStop is not playing around. GameStop is really out here acting a fool in terms of these AKA meme stocks, things of that nature.
Yeah. Meme stocks indeed, man. It's equal parts. It's equal parts odd internet movement and also like a bit of get back against a lot of like hedge funds and stuff that's happening with the stock market. So basically, the really condensed version of it is with the pandemic and everything shutting everything down, hedge funds will basically make bets that companies will fail. So they bet on the company failing and the stock depreciating, and then they offload the stock. And then because it depreciated, you would make the difference between the stock's original price and what it ended up dropping to. That's what your profit was.
That's a serious
think of
flip.
it. Yeah, think of it like betting on a fight. I bet that this UFC guy is going to knock that UFC guy out in this round with this move, something like that.
And
But
actually,
with the outcomes of companies as opposed to just fighters.
right.
So basically, as a like attack against hedge funds who had been using these stocks and these short buys to sort of act like personal piggy banks and move money around in circles that don't involve regular people. GameStop and AMC, along with a few other ones, became like the rallying cry behind a movement to basically buy a bunch of stock in the company to keep the company alive and viable. So as long as people are trading stock with the company and own it and it continues to appreciate in value, GameStop isn't going to shut down or lose any of its capital. Thusly, all the hedge funds that bet that they were going to lose all their money, like, lose the bet. So like, whereas they would make the money from the stock depreciating, the stock is instead appreciating, and so they're losing a gang of money in the millions of dollars. And people are showing up from all over, everywhere. You got YouTubers, you got like quiet oil money people popping in, and you got tech billionaire Elon Musk is showing up and throwing money at things. It's just absolute pandemonium, and we're starting to see the sort of pushbacks that are coming from Wall Street itself. Just today, I checked a little while ago, the price for GameStop sunk 100 points. So it's a really volatile process, but that's coming off the back of a whole bunch of stuff with the investment trading app Robinhood. That's a whole nother ball of wax that
owned by players in the right.
Yeah. So like they're doing some stuff that is we're trying to figure out whether or not it's legal. Where they're Yeah, so they're trying to fix it so that if you own stock, you can't buy anymore, you can't circulate it in anymore. You can only sell it on Robinhood, and they're like, that sounds like you're trying to protect the companies and not the companies. You could give a crap about the company. You're trying to protect the hedge fund people. The hedge fund people are like, hey, you're messing our money up.
Well,
And so now they're trying to push back with pressure from Robinhood.
Michael Jordan is not winning this right now. He's not winning this situation right now. Did you hear about that? He's been losing hundreds of millions of dollars based off this entire GameStop thing for over a year now, which is affecting the Charlotte Hornet money because it's not just him. It's two of his minority investors into the team.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of big people that have, I've learned a lot in just trying to like put stuff together for myself and my personal with like understanding money and how it moves. Is that there's a quiet room where a lot of money is getting circulated, and you'd be surprised the people who are in those rooms. Like, it's just like you're like, wow, word, like what's Michael Jordan doing?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm not surprised with how that type of stuff happens. But as long as it continues to be a consumer-led, common man-led movement to gain everyone access to the wealth that has been hoarded ever so greedily by a select group of people, then I'm continuing to be down for it. So that's the play. That's the play with that.
Right on. So how was today for you since you're not Michael Jordan? How did GameStop treat you today?
Well, 100%, 100-point drop is a 100-point drop. But a lot of people take a few different stances on it. They'll buy the stock and hold it as sort of like a more of a symbolic gesture than a practical one. I have an amount that I'm willing to hold on to, and then another amount that I'm like, I'm gonna cop this and then let it go when I think it peaks. So that's what I ended up doing. But it definitely got me more than what I bought it for. So I'm thankful for that. And though we're not dealing.
You got to win.
Yeah, it's a dub, like, shout out to my boy Screech. It's a dub.
It's a dub. That's a dub.
That dub was from Screech.
Right on.
You sent it down. You sent it down.
Appreciate it. Too. All the love. All right, let's I guess we got to get to the meat of this situation. Being a Black Geek podcast, we got to talk about Wakanda. We got to talk about Wakanda TV and everything that's Black Panther right now. Kai, what is going on? And what's going on with Wakanda from Texas? I know you talked to him. What's the word?
Oh man, apparently a whole lot of things is coming down the pipeline from Wakanda. They always dust off things, but they always kind of got a hand and a little bit of everything running the show. So apparently Disney Plus and they putting some heat out. They just announced the new Wakanda theme show Plus. So I'm super excited. They got the same director who did the Black Panther movie, who's going to be doing Black Panther 2. So I'm excited to see what they put together. I like the fact that they're going with the theme of Wakanda instead of Black Panther. I would definitely like to see more of Wakanda because I think it's definitely slept on. They showed a little bit. They gave you a little teaser in the movie, but I would definitely see a series that kind of builds onto what we got to see in the movie. So on top of that, just looking forward to Black Panther 2. I have my speculations as to how they're going to transition with the death of Chadwick Boseman. May he rest in power.
Rest in power. Rest in power,
Absolutely. Rest in power.
I'm truly hoping they kind of follow the comic books as a woman. Hope that they kind of transition Shuri into that Black Panther role. That is what that's what I want to see. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Michael B. Jordan's fine self come back. I would not be opposed to that. So really, you know, either way, they talking to Michael B. Jordan, they talking about bringing Shuri into the fold. Either one of them, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be front row there with my Black Panther costume on. Day of the premiere.
Right on.
For sure.
Yeah, I have a theory as well. We were talking in the sound check, and it sounded like Marquise had the inside scoop, though, like he knew exactly what was going to go down.
Hey,
what's the word on the street?
LA.
What's the word on Wakanda, sir?
LA.
Oh man, you know, when I don't want to get in trouble. I can say what I want, and I can say that Kai really hit the nail on the head with what I want. I think Letitia Wright is right there. I think that every instance wherein she becomes the Black Panther, she's been phenomenal. She's been standout. She was Black Panther when T'Challa was in Harlem for that bit where he had like the street Batman thing. He was like working with Luke Cage and the Punisher. She took over at the home fort then. Like she's been in the Black Panther role a bunch of times. In Reggie Husband's run, she was Black Panther. Or a bit of her. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all have seen the visuals of Shuri. I mean, they are absolutely beautiful. I mean, truly, like the visuals literally scream Black excellence, Black power. So
for sure, like she looks great. We've seen mock-ups of her in the suit with the dreads coming out of it. It's incredible. So like that's what I want. I think that you don't have to muddle something that isn't there. I mean, like my second choice, I guess, that I would like is to get Winston Duke if you didn't do Shuri, because you know Winston Duke, he's already M'Baku, and he's got like, he was offered it before in the first film and turned it down because it was like T'Challa's right there. And if T'Challa is not right there anymore, he would be like, well, I'm the next dopest dude, so it might as well.
He's massive, though. He's really, really big.
Yeah, he is. But like, I
How
feel
tall
like
is
when you're dealing, Winston
How tall
Duke?
is he?
Yeah, how tall is he?
Oh, I don't know. If I had to guess, he's probably a good 6'3".
Okay.
But
All right.
he's a good 6'3", 258 pounds. He's a big guy.
He is 6'5" officially.
Okay.
But like I feel like if you in it for superheroes though, like who wants to see a regular superhero?
I mean, I'm just looking at the aesthetics of Black Panther. He's too big.
You think he's too big for Black Panther?
He's too big for Black Panther. But on the flip side, I don't know her actual name, but the girl that plays Shuri,
Letitia Wright.
She's low key kind of small to play Shuri. Like she would have to do what Chadwick Boseman did, how he kind of bulked up. She would need to do. She gonna have to get in the gym and get on some protein and start eating her collard greens.
The whey powder. Oh yeah.
Right on. I honestly feel like someone's going to find the right piece of vibranium and bring back Killmonger. Maybe I'm wrong. It happened in the comics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's alive. Yeah, they even have a recent book out for him shortly after the first movie came out. A phenomenal miniseries written by Brian Edward Hill. Fantastic brother, very insightful. Hit him up on Twitter. He's an absolute riot.
he's a friend of Marquise. If y'all didn't get the underlining thing, that's the big homie. So
We talk infrequently on Twitter and we play fighting games. That's the extent of that.
it ain't virtual. I tell you that.
No, see, you keep talking all this recklessness, bro. Like, I'm gonna have to set the PS3 up and find you tonight.
Let's go. Whatever.
Whenever, bro. It's whenever, bro.
But
back on topic.
Yes.
He has there's precedent for the character popping up and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but I don't like it because I feel like he was, as much as we can make jokes about how come the villains always die at the end of superhero movies. His send off was something actually like really special.
I agree. I actually going to say that. I didn't want to interrupt.
Like
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
no,
it was really beautiful.
I think if they brought him back, it would take away from what was so special about the first movie. If they brought him back. Because truthfully, I mean, I love my Chadwick Boseman, but Michael B. Jordan really, really made that movie what it was. Like from the lines that they gave that he had. Yeah,
and I thought it was phenomenal casting. We had such an energy to him. Like Michael B. Jordan, I love him as an actor. He doesn't really do like voices really well. Like he's always Michael B. Jordan. But like he's kind of like Morgan Freeman in that way. Like you don't get Morgan Freeman to play like a old Jamaican or something like you got him to play Morgan Freeman. But what his strong suit is his ability to find an energy, to find a vibe and stay in it so thoroughly, and really imparts a really believable. So like when he was talking about the anger that he felt, in relation to his father and all of Wakanda and how he was trained and as this like renegade war dog, you really believed it. Like he sounded like a kid from Oakland who got dealt a really raw deal, and grew up mad about it and had the skills to do something. And he was a meaningful pivot away from Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa, which I think he needed to. I think he needed to speak to the sort of communal anger and like hurt that we have been feeling as Black people as a community. I think he was sort of like the audience proxy for that, where it's like, hey man, why don't we just tear stuff up? You know what I'm saying? Like why don't we just, like if we had the means to just flip everything in our favor, why don't we?
Right.
And I think that there was a lesson in both strength and the ability to not just ask for what you want, but take it. Because when you think about it, in the end, both T'Challa and Killmonger in the Joker, both of them technically won. If you look at it, like both of them, like Killmonger was like, "Hey, we need to show that we have, the biggest stick in the tree to the whole world." You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to know how dope we are all the time, so nobody tries to do anything stupid. All right, and we're gonna have our tech everywhere, and we're going to be an international power. And T'Challa was like, "Yo, we have to make sure that we're protecting our people." We have to make sure that we're, you know, my job is to protect Wakanda and to look out for Wakanda and be in their best interest. And I don't want to put them, my people, out into a greater context that stands to harm them without it being 100% vetted first and through the proper means, and if we're going to even do something like that. And at the end of the day, you know, T'Challa is stepping out in the UN and being like, hey, we have the biggest stick in the tree. Don't mess with us. But also, here's this community center. So both of them really, despite them being, you know, the protagonist and antagonist of the film, I hesitate to use the words hero and villain, because they're both, I think, as a hallmark to the great storytelling that Ryan Coogler and his team put together over the course of making that film. Both of them are the heroes of their own stories, respectively, and the opposite are the villains of each other's stories, respectively. So,
I wanted to ask Jennifer. Jennifer, did you see Black Panther? Have you seen it?
I have seen Black Panther.
It.
Yes. I think I should be kicked off the
here,
call.
but,
I would be kicked off the call if I had not seen it. Yes.
People that are not even into comic books was like,
yes.
Oh yeah, people, uncles showing up in their church clothes,
and they dashikis
with the sashes.
I do got one question, because this is how I felt when I went into the movie. So, you know, they put out the previews and you was all amped and you was like, oh, Black Panther, cool. Oh, this is going to be black. But I did not expect the movie to be as black as it was.
Correct.
It was
correct.
Like, as soon as they start calling white people colonizers, I was like, oh.
Hey, we're here for it.
I was like, oh, they for real.
For real. And then that scene of Wakanda and just the women is just like blew you away. You know, it was like heaven.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like,
and,
wow.
Like Michael B. Jordan's dying line, I was just like, between his last line and the line with him in the art museum where he was like, y'all stole it from us, so what's stopping you?
Yeah.
I was just like, they got the
real
off in this movie.
They in their bag today.
Y'all expecting that from the movie? Like, I wasn't.
Not at all.
No, I was not. Yeah. I feel like Marvel movies have this kind of like area of safety, and this
they took the censor off on that movie.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
I dug it though. It gave it such a unique voice. It feels different than everything else that had come before it. You know.
Yeah, I can always appreciate black movies, black artists when they stay true to their blackness, and white people be right there cheering it on.
Yeah,
cheering it on. Right.
Sure.
There was actually, I'm a bit frustrated with the first Black Panther movie, the franchise. And I know Marquise, you know, when it comes to comics, I know he goes a little bit deeper down the well than I do. But as far as I know it, and it's what I've read, Black Panther and Captain America, there is no comparison in the comic. And Black Panther is above and beyond better in many different ways than Captain America is. And in the movies, they would pair them together. They would sort of make them on an even playing field. And that bothered me.
They do that with a lot of people. Don't even get me started on people putting Batman and against each other. I mean, we live just our generation, the way things are right now. People are so into comparing. It's compare and contrast. They always want to see like, oh, who's better than the other, instead of really distinguishing the individual qualities that each individual character have and bring to the table.
And so I know that going in, and I really didn't feel like what Marquise was saying, Chadwick as Black Panther never really got to show off everything that Black Panther could really, really do in that movie. Like, And it was symbolic of the story because we were busy dealing with ourselves before we could deal with anything outside of that. And it was frustrating. Like, I think like all of us, it hit me hard when Chadwick, was just suddenly gone. And I'm, if anybody had talked to me knows I was super excited about Black Panther 2 because I was like, they got to do better than what they did for him in the first one. Dr. Doom's coming. That's my favorite enemy. That's my favorite character. It's going to be amazing. And then Chadwick's not here. And that really hit my heart. Like, that really hit my heart because I know they had more in store, not only for him, but the character for everybody to enjoy.
So I would hope, and I said this because everybody knows I'm crazy about Marvel. I mean, I literally got condolences. Like, that was my brother when Chadwick died, when Stan Lee died. So I agree with you, and I'm going to say what I say to every other comic book person that begins to say this. Like, that was the first movie, and that first movie always sets the tone. And I agree with you.
Right.
As far as the first movie didn't do enough, so everybody was looking forward. Let me not say it did.
It did a lot.
Maybe that's the right amount. To me, it was well executed. Like, Black Panther 1 was well executed. But I agree with you as far as they had a lot. Man, we had a lot more that we was gonna see in this second movie. So now Chadwick is on, and really, as a comic book fan, you really just have to understand that we're not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna tarnish his memory. They're not gonna replace him, and that's okay.
Right.
I want them to replace him. But we also have to understand that we're not going to get what we were going to get alive. All I can say is that I really, really, truly hope that Marvel planned accordingly. I can't imagine they didn't plan. This was not a secret. Like, the people that worked alongside him had to know that he was sick. Like, somebody knew. It was a surprise to us, but somebody within that circle had to know he was sick, and they had to put things in place.
Let me get it so you don't hurt it.
Went sooner than they anticipated.
Right on. I know and being a black man in entertainment, I know how hard Chadwick had to work to get there. And
much respect. I was.
It just, that really hurt me because it's like, I know this dude pretty much ran a perfect route to get to where he is, and he never really got the chance to, like, he didn't get his snap, his Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's frustrating on a personal level. I didn't mind them not replacing Chadwick because I think they'll do that when the time's correct from a business standpoint. I don't think you do it to anybody right now because you're setting them up for failure, and that's going to cost them a lot of money. Anybody who's coming after Chadwick within the next, with this rendition of the movie, every time we see them, we're going to be like, that should be Chadwick. That should be Chadwick. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So it is frustrating. I'm still excited about everything. I love Ryan Coogler and his work and his team. But I think I would prefer Shuri over Michael B. Jordan, to be honest with you. I think that's the right time in terms of what's happening. If I had to stay with it.
I'm gonna tell you, there's two hands. Speaking from a female perspective, speaking from a comic book fan perspective,
right?
I want to see Shuri. So
I'm with Kai on that one.
I've been yelling about it for as long as people were going like, well, are they gonna replace him? We did just let Don Cheadle ride all the way like Terrence Howard. Didn't happen. But like it's just one of those things where like the answer is already there and it's so perfect.
Sidekick versus a main character.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If keeping it a buck, I don't like Don Cheadle.
Well, I think that he always had like a really diminished sort of role. Do you think Terrence Howard would have done it any better if they kept him?
Yes.
Well, okay, Kai, hold on. You've
Power
seen
was,
Devil in a Blue Dress, right?
have I seen what?
Devil in a Blue Dress.
Oh, that
Denzel.
old? Yeah, the old one. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, yeah, it's old, fine, but it's still vintage Don Cheadle. Mousy, come on.
I mean, that's the perfect role. War Machine is not.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I do. I'm not, but they've mishandled War Machine from day one. If you ask me, in my opinion, like
Yeah,
they haven't done him justice at all. So
not at all. Let that
In
be
the
clear.
slightest.
But
he's
really,
like
when
he's
they
like the Black Ghostbuster. Like he's on the team, but don't nobody really care about him. Like he just kind of brings
honestly,
color
when
to the
they
team.
cast it, they really did it to themselves. Like it's like, oh, I can't take this guy serious.
He was Captain Planet in that Kind of Funny video.
Thank you.
We didn't forget.
I can't do Don Chino as War Machine.
Well, yeah. I guess to the service to the other point that I was making before, I was like, they did pivot him into that role, and he still has it right now.
Ain't he
But
paralyzed? They about to circulate him.
oh yeah, you gonna
Done
move him around.
day one.
They about to they about to rework that system.
All right.
Kyle, let's talk
Sam,
about somebody that I think you are on board with on Wanda TV, Wanda Television.
WandaVision.
Oh, WandaVision.
Yeah.
WandaVision.
I love the casting. Everybody has been really, really sleep on WandaVision because it came out as like this kind of I Love Lucy kind of vibe where it was in black and white and everybody was like, what the hell is going on? And I know my Marvel. You gotta ride the wave until you get to the commotion. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta like I always tell people that first movie that's just a starting line. That's just they're setting the groundwork up, they're building the foundation, and it's not gonna be bombs and action and all of this stuff that you get once you have established that foundation. So episode 1 is like, okay, what the heck are we watching? Episode 2 is like, something not right here. Episode 3 is like, okay, we getting somewhere. Episode 4, everybody like, what?
Yeah,
So,
it's like this. It's a mixture. I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's like a
Real quick,
mixture that
real quick.
Yeah.
Kai,
yes.
tell us a little bit about the principle for those that don't know, like the
Oh,
principle,
yeah.
the
Go
characters.
for it.
The principle behind, I don't want to give too much of the story, but as I began to say, it starts off as this almost like a 70s, 80s sitcom where it's giving you I Love Lucy vibes, and it's in black and white, and they're kind of jumping between black and white and color. And I can't remember what movie it was, Pleasantville. If you've ever seen Pleasantville.
Yeah, with Tobey Maguire.
And then the people kind of started interacting, and then colors started popping up all over. That was kind of how this kind of started transitioning. So it was like everything's in black and white. Wanda, Vision is dead. He died in the movies. So I can only assume Wanda has set something up to where they can be together, this parallel universe. She's taking people from our universe and put them in there so that they're not in there alone and they're interacting. But now the actual present day is crossing in to her parallel universe, and that's where you get the spikes of color and the waves and the radio, and you get like these weird interruptions, and then it'll skip and then it'll jump back and you're like, well, what just happened? So but they literally been building it up, and if you pay attention to the Marvel series, they've taken little minuscule characters from like Ant-Man and Thor and Captain Marvel. They've taken these small characters that you thought was just like, oh, this is just a cop that, he probably was cop 1 in Ant-Man, but now he has this big role and it's all tying together. And then I got live because as soon as the show comes on, episode 4, which is where everything pops off, you see this Black woman and you're like, who is this lady? Like, she has to be somebody of substance. And then they say Monica Rambeau. And if you
he doesn't know who Monica Rambeau is, so who is Monica?
If you're a comic book fan and you know who Monica Rambeau is, that name immediately popped in me. And I'm like, oh, Marvel's up to something. Marvel's bringing in the new wave of superheroes, because they're pretty much been killed off, or the contracts have expired for Captain America, Hawkman, all the original Avengers, and now they're setting up this new generation of Avengers, and we're seeing characters we've never seen before that would ideally have been like your sidekicks, or the characters that didn't get as much love as they necessarily should have. And Monica Rambeau is one of them. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And to see, like I said, to see a Black woman leading it, and you can tell that she's going to have a pinnacle role in this series going forward. And Wanda is just, honestly, Wanda is almost like the Jean Grey of X-Men. Like, Wanda is that for Marvel. I'm sorry. Wanda is that for the Avengers. So we haven't even began to see her power. Like, Wanda is really powerful. You got to think about it. Vision is powerful, and he got waxed in the movies. And Wanda is more powerful than her man. So she's manipulating this whole universe that she done put together, keeping the outside world out. So people been asleep. They've been asleep, but I think this next episode is going to really, episode 4 really had people like talking on Twitter, on social media. Episode 5 is going to blow people's mind for sure.
Oh, I know. I was in love the moment I saw the pitch. When they were like showing off a lot of the shows that were gonna go down, I was like, yo, this is like just a mix of that incredible Tom King Vision miniseries that came out a little grip ago. You can cop that. It's got a deluxe edition hardcover out now. And most notably, House of M.
Yeah.
Where Wanda like creates like a world where like a bunch of stuff happens that if I talked about it, it would potentially spoil the show. So like, it's crazy like that they're just like picking up these little bits of story. And I think that there's an extra layer of I'm excited about this when you realize how like what team it was pivotal in House of M when it happened. You know what I'm saying? That the X-Men was a huge part of House of M. And they don't have like, they own the film rights to the X-Men now, but they're doing this chunk of an X-Men story without any of the X-Men. And with how House of M ended and how I think the show is going to end, I think they're going to do like an inverted thing that I think it's the coolest thing ever, that I'm watching this sort of stuff happen. Like, yeah, like I was just sitting here going like, yo, what if, could they really? So yeah, like episode 4 was absolutely insane. And I've been on it for the ride the whole time. All the shows that they're getting ready to put out, I'm super with. Got the Disney Plus on deck, prepped for all of them. The other one I'm really juiced for is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because I think Anthony Mackie really deserves his dub. Like,
wait, let me ask Kai, is Anthony Mackie okay? Is he in the Don Cheadle category, or is he somewhere else?
Sorry, I'm so bad with like actual names.
Anthony Mackie is the Falcon.
Yeah, that's the Falcon.
perennial
I
wackest
actually, okay,
character ever.
you don't like Anthony Mackie. Let me be clear.
No, I really like Anthony Mackie. I think he did what Jeremy Renner did for Hawkeye and took a character that I always thought was the lamest ever and turned him into something cool.
Okay. So I was gonna give you my opinion on him. I'm gonna be my first movie that I saw him play in was like that horrible basketball movie that came out when I was in high or high school. Do you remember the name of it? It was horrible. It was a horrible movie. I don't even remember the name of it. But that was the first movie that I saw him in. And as soon as I saw them cast him, I was like, oh, this is gonna be horrible. But he changed my mind. He has executed
crossover.
I truly like him as the Falcon at this point.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the name of the movie, or are you talking about
that was the name of the movie? It's Crossover.
Go watch it. Go watch it.
I wouldn't have seen the movie just because of the name. I'm not messing with crossover.
Yeah, no, I mean, go watch it and you will understand what I'm saying about my skepticism about him playing the Falcon. Because I know where he came from. But he has really, really, really been getting some good roles. And to me, he's expanded his range. I like him as the Falcon. I think he made the role his own. He didn't mimic anybody or try to be something that he's not. I think that he is executing the role, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table in the Winter Soldier series that they got coming out.
I like their dynamic. I like their chemistry. They got this like superhero odd couple thing going on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like
and
one
it's
of my
like a
and I
go for it.
Before is when they in the buggy and like he's like, can you move over? He's like, no. Like that's one of my favorite movies anyway. And that scene alone, like it's stuck in my head. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Marquise, in terms of that inverted perspective on the House of M, it was also announced that not only is Disney going to actually do Deadpool 3, but it's supposed to be rated R.
It better be.
Yeah.
I don't see how it could not be.
Well, it's Disney, so anything.
Oh, first of all, I would boycott all of it. If they put out Deadpool, they did not have a rated R rating.
If you would have said that before you said you went to go see Crossover, I would have believed you. But you went to see
I was in high school.
What little JJ and Wayne Brady?
It was man, you gotta support Black films no matter how bad they are. You know what I'm saying? It was a full Black ass. You gotta. It's like, oh, this is so bad, but you gotta support your Black films. You got
tonight at 9 p.m. Crossover.
It'd be like 9, 10, like after like 106 Park.
Oh yeah, right before Red Fox. Now what's that show Red Fox had?
Honestly, that movie isn't worthy of like even being on like BET. They have never. That isn't in rotation. They was like, oh, this movie was just so bad. Like that would go into the archive.
Now I was bringing that up because they were saying that Deadpool's movie is going to be the introduction to the X-Men. So that's how they're going to facilitate everything. So, if the money's right, Disney will go rated R is basically the lesson there. Because
they have.
Is there another rated R Disney movie ever? There's not one.
No, but you got to understand, Disney owns a lot now. They own Fox. They own Hulu.
They own a lot more than what's been publicized. You are correct.
Yeah, but my thing is, I think Disney is very calculated. Disney about their money. They're very calculated. So once they once they pulled their content from Netflix, they pretty much secured their bag with Fox. I feel like it's another one. It's like 21st Century, or it's Fox and somebody else that they have. And then also they got Hulu, which there was talks of Disney basically taking all of the Netflix series, your Daredevil, your Jessica Jones, your Luke Cage, your Punisher, and moving all of that stuff to Hulu. That was the original conversation, because Hulu is not a child-based platform. That is where they can do their rated R content while keeping Disney Plus very PG-13.
Yeah,
exactly. So they have a plan. They have a plan, but I can't imagine DC bought Fox, secured Marvel, and plans to put out these kid gloves superhero movies. There's certain heroes, there's certain villains, there's certain anti-heroes that you just cannot execute with the
Disney,
rating.
like the rest of us. Now Disney will steal your story, but it's never been rated. That's the Disney I grew up with. So the fact that they would, break the rule this time, that means the money's really good. That means the money is really good.
Oh, so, Deadpool is making some money for sure.
Oh, and real quick, I figured I would drop something crazy in the chat real fast. Disney produced Dead Presidents, so technically there's a Disney R-rated film for you.
There you go.
How about that? I told you he is a living life. I told you.
I mean, I'm that too. I live watching a movie, and I like to Google stuff. Like, I will sit there and Google while I'm watching a movie, and like, okay, Monica Rambeau did this, this, and this. She's tied to this, this, and this. She's married to this, this, and this. Like, I will literally piece together, and that's how I know all this comic book shit. Because
that's what I'm doing this whole conversation. I'm learning. I'm like over here.
I'm telling you,
wow.
I mean, it's as a person that speaking to you from somebody that is head first, all fully submerged in this Marvel DC superhero life. Take it slow. I mean, start with your Netflix series, and you'll see how everything ties together. I mean, it's really endless. I mean, you're talking about Netflix series, which ties into your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which ties into all the movies that are coming out, and each movie is an Easter egg for the next movie. And it's very similar. DC is trying to mimic what Marvel is doing with their crossover series.
Future State, comic books.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's get into that before we do the winner.
Yes, before we lose all of our time and go over dramatically. Future State. So apparently it's just DC is they are
Black everything.
Yeah, they're known for doing these parallel universe, like what if it was like this? What if Batman was a villain? What if Batman, in this case, what if Batman was black? So I actually been trying to research what the ethnicity is for each individual character. What I can tell is that Batman is black, Green Lantern is black, the Flash is black. I saw
non-binary, I believe.
I saw an image of like the Red Hood outlaw in one depiction. He's black.
Red Hood is black.
Wait, Kai, what series is this that you're talking about now?
This is DC Future State. So it is a movie, series getting ready to come out. Yes. And then of course we know Aqualad is black, but Aqualad has now become Aquaman to my understanding of this particular version. So
and now is he still
we got some black excellence in the Justice League right now, and it appears that Wonder Woman, I can't tell what she is ethnicity wise. She appears to be something.
She got that big hair going on right now, right? Like that big 80s hair, that Tina Turner thing rocking right now. Like
a little bit, but she looks almost like she's like foreign. She looks like she's a different ethnicity. She's not white, she's not black.
she's just
But
a brown girl.
I always like when they
I thought that was Donna Troy for a second. Hold on.
So is that not Nubia? Is this a different Wonder Woman?
different. To my knowledge, not Nubia. Nubia is brown skinned girl. She's not Nubia.
Okay. How about that? All right. Well, it's 7:28, and in some places in the country, it's almost 10:30. People, this is a school night. Relax, everybody. But thank you I want to say thank you to my special guest host, Kai. Thank you for being a part. Great meeting with you, having you on the show, Marquise, aka Big Pepper, aka Living Life, aka going to get the smackdown. Trust me. Great having you on the show as always. Appreciate your contributions.
Sure.
We've already done the pulling. Kai has got the winner, and before we do the drum roll and announce anything you want to say, anything you want to lead the audience with, social media with?
Me?
No, Jennifer. Project31.
Oh.
How was the show? How'd it go? How was the show?
It was good. It was good. I'm just like blown away. I'm like I said, I was over here Googling all of this stuff. And so it's just a whole nother world. And I've seen, some of the crossovers, my kids watch some of the series and they, spend hours in telling me how this is linked to that. But it's just really nice to see us, talking about it and to see us represented, in the comics. And my friend, I was texting him, I'm like, man, you should have been on the call today. He's sending me his 70s comics with some of the original Black characters. So so it's just nice. It was a good conversation. I was so glad to be a part. I'm like, we need to have the same conversation next week because I like to continue. So thank you again for having me, and thank you for putting this together. I think it's conversation. I think it's a good, one of the things that I think that I took away from tonight is the tribe, and just finding your tribe, finding what fits and when you have a unique interest or whether you have a broad interest, being able to connect with other people of like minds. And that was really nice to see tonight.
That's what's up. Well, thank you, Milwaukee. Thank you, Atlanta. Thank you, Texas, for your amazing Wi-Fi. Thank you, LA, for your Wi-Fi. I hope y'all ain't on Spectrum. Brent, thank you for holding up for an hour. You've never done this before. So let's get to the pulling, the winner for tonight. I got the drum roll ready. You let me know when you're ready, Kai. I'm gonna hit this beat right now.
Go for it. Hit the beat. All right. Tonight, our winner for our raffle is...
Survey says...
a Miss Anastasia.
And it's not... Hey, all right.
Congratulations.
Now, see her in the room. So I guess I'm gonna have to contact her and let her know that she... But we thank you for supporting Black AF, supporting Project31 and the Black Power campaign. This is episode new 0 because it's a new day. Blessed to be here. Thank you for all being a part. I'm gonna close out this room before my battery dies. We're back here next Monday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. New topics. Hopefully we can have y'all back. If not next week, my special guest, let's do it again for sure though. Absolutely. Jennifer, we'll see you next week.
All right.
And have a mentee with us next week, right?
Yes,
correct?
We will, definitely. Yes.
Cool. Perfect. Everybody have a good night. I will talk to y'all soon. Strength and blessings.
All right. Take care.
Good night.
All right.
Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Blackest.